content warnings for flashing lights, glitching effects, and Backrooms typical nightmare fuel. If you know about the Backrooms, liminal spaces, or analog horror, then you know about Kane Pixels. And with good reason. He is a very talented artist and storyteller. But this video is not about Kane Pixels. This video is about the creator known as GeoDeo26, formerly known as Geonosis, and their Playrooms series. GeoDeo26 is by no means an obscure creator. Their first Playrooms video, Escape the Backrooms, Playrooms Found Footage, currently has 2.5 million views. And yet I haven't seen any analysis videos about their videos like I have about other Backrooms series. Maybe there are analysis videos for this series that I just haven't found, but oh well, there's always room on YouTube for one more video. GeoDeo's Playrooms series is unique and innovative among Backrooms videos, primarily because of the richness of the environments, the uniqueness of the monsters, and the ominous story it tells. The typical Backrooms video, or video game, looks like this. Yellow hallways, buzzing lights, and the same exact Kane Pixels copycat monster. It was cool when Kane did it, but now it's just boring. Or if it doesn't look like a copycat, then it looks like this. A barren wasteland of architecture. Intriguing for a few minutes, before it becomes boring and repetitive. By contrast, the Playrooms are filled with things. Colors, furniture, posters, decorations that a real person would add to a space. The waiting room for a pediatrician isn't sterile and white. In real life, it would have toys, warm colors, and pictures to make the children feel safe and welcome. Every space in the Playrooms looks like someone was just there, and that if you just turn one more corner, go through one more door, you'll find them. It looks as though a person was here, but they just left the room. It's an eerie feeling, and it intensifies the anxiety of the wanderer's relentless journey forward. These Playrooms also have toys and childlike decorations, but these have been ever so slightly twisted. The giant teddy bear in the corner almost looks friendly, except for its beady pinprick eyes that survey the room. The posters display colorful safety messages, yet the ominous warnings they give make you feel anything but safe. Stay away from any exit areas. Stay near safe zones. Do not run from a guardian. Sure, these rules seem to be in place to protect any kids who may be there, but they also seem designed to control them, telling them where they can and cannot go. The rules also imply that the guardians are terrifying, and that a child's first reaction to seeing one would be to run from it. But who is right? The children who run, or the guardians? The most ominous message only appears in a corner of this frame. Notice, there are no more exits. Like other Backroom stories, the Playrooms change shape and appearance as the wanderer goes through them, but these videos are unique in that the environment will change when the wanderer looks away. Like environments in a dream, the colors and shapes constantly change, yet they maintain enough similarities that you could believe you were in the same place in the dream. I've already touched on the monsters, but the Guardians are some of the most interesting and unique monsters I've seen for the Backrooms. They are intelligent, malicious, and organized. Unlike other monsters, they won't kill you just for existing. There are only 2 confirmed reasons why they would kill you. If you enter the Playrooms as an adult, or if you lie about your age. If you fall outside the accepted age range for the Playrooms, the Guardians will stalk you and hunt you down until there's nowhere else for you to run. Even the other entities fear the Guardians. At the beginning of the first Playrooms video, the Wanderer is running from a red, human-like creature. But once the Wanderer makes it through a particular door, the creature backs away as quickly as possible. It's terrified of what lies beyond. The Guardians are based off that one Playrooms image that everyone knows, the one with the cheese character, who may be SpongeBob, the Bart Simpson lookalike, the black mouse, the stork, and the teddy bear. Images of these creatures populate the Playrooms, as if they're always watching you, always near to you. And when the Guardians themselves appear on screen, oh man, the glitches, the distortions, they are just chef's kiss. Because not only does the camera itself glitch out, as if the act of recording the entity is destroying the camera itself, but the Guardians themselves warp and distort into literal nightmares. But it seems to me that there is one more entity, and that is the Playrooms itself. The way the environment constantly changes, the mocking messages on the walls, and the way that the environment lures the Wanderer onward with promises of escape, only to corner them in a room with no more exits. It really feels like the place itself is alive. If you still haven't watched either of these videos yet, stop right now and go watch them, because I'm about to expound the entire stories of both of them. They are brilliant and so engaging, and I just have to gush about them. Liminal spaces are transitional spaces. You are meant to pass through them. And in the story of these Playrooms videos, the Wanderer seems to take that to heart. The Wanderer passes through many almost comfortable-looking spaces with chairs, and yet they never once sit down. They enter the room, observe their new surroundings, and then they move on to the next room, and the next, and the next, and the next. There's no rest, there's no lingering, only the relentless pursuit of going through one more door, one more hallway. Both videos begin in medias res. You don't see glimpses of the Wanderer's ordinary life, or their sudden descent into the backrooms. The first video begins with a chase scene. The second begins with the Wanderer exiting an elevator into a green and blue hallway. How long have they been here? Are they still searching for an exit, or have they given up after trusting so many false exits? In the first video, the Wanderer is running from a monster. He makes it through a door, but then he pauses. He turns around. And the monster isn't chasing him anymore. It's backing away. The Wanderer makes his way to the door at the end of the hallway and comes upon what looks like a waiting room for a pediatrician's office. It is clearly based on a famous liminal space photo, including the dollhouse, chairs, and the gigantic teddy bear in the corner. Unlike the photo, this teddy sits up straight and rigid, and its small black eyes have shrunk to mere specks. It doesn't look soft and comfortable. It sits guard like a sentinel, as it should, since it is the bear guardian of this level. The Wanderer moves closer to observe the bear. It doesn't move, yet its jointed arms and soulless eyes look ready to spring into action. It's as if it is holding its breath, waiting for the Wanderer to make a wrong move. The Wanderer leaves through the next door, but not before giving a final sideways glance to the bear. It's still there, looking ahead. He walks through several large, indeterminate spaces filled with doors and hallways. One door catches his interest, and he finds the empty playroom based on another popular liminal space photo. He sees pictures of the stork, the pseudo SpongeBob, the pseudo Bart Simpson, the black mouse, and the beady-eyed bear. Through a narrow hallway lit by flickering lights, he sees a crude drawing on the wall resembling a monster eating something. It is an ominous warning of the danger ahead. Leaving the room, he comes upon a set of red and violet double doors guarded by two signs. One says Kids Access with a Z. The other says Restricted Area, Keep Out. And like a moth to flame, the Wanderer presses the button to enter anyway. Within is a huge hospital complex. The low ceilings and towering walls create an immense yet oppressive atmosphere. The bright areas of color remind the viewer that this is supposed to be a pediatric hospital. He gets on an elevator with buttons for hundreds of floors. It takes him to what looks like the entrance to an arcade or a laser tag place. Beside the entrance doors hang several posters full of rules and warnings, most notably a poster of a bear head that says Guardian Protected. Despite these warnings, the Wanderer presses the button to open this door. It doesn't open. He presses it again, and again nothing happens. It isn't until he turns back to the elevator that the doors open, tempting him forward to the point of no return. He goes through them, only to find nothing but a black abyss. No way forward, no exit, no play place. He gives up and returns to the elevator, and it is here that the Playrooms itself decides to end their little game. The elevator buttons disappear, replaced by crudely painted imitations. Each time the elevator opens, a new horror is revealed. Decals of a long-snouted bear menacing a much smaller man, a poorly lit nursery with no exit, a room extending backwards like an accordion. Until at last the doors open to a dark room lit by red light. The doors slam open and closed, revealing the form of the bear guardian, slowly turning around. Its form warps and corrupts until the camera can't handle its image anymore, and the video dissolves into incomprehensible glitches and colors. It is a tale of a moth drawn to the flame, knowing it was a flame, and yet hoping it was the moon. You know how some people say that the backrooms shouldn't have entities because it ruins the liminal space aspect? Well, guess what? They're wrong. Have you ever watched a backrooms video that has no people and no entities in it? Not even the suggestion of an entity? No, you haven't, because that would be boring. It would literally be a video of some guy walking through empty hallways. The only way I could see that working is if the video focuses on the Wanderer's mental and physical state, because then there would be a reason to get invested in their journey. But that's why I love these Playrooms videos, because they are filled with life. GeoDeo26 took these bleak, empty spaces and filled them with toys and childhood memories and creatures that have established a complex relationship with the humans who encounter their space. The next video, called Exit the Playrooms, takes the nightmarish elements even further. It opens on a colorful yet calm hallway that looks like it could be in an aquarium based on the wavy lines. As the Wanderer explores, he finds a child's ID card and takes it. At the end of the hallway, he finds a restricted door. Only kids younger than 18 may enter. Despite the fact that the Wanderer is clearly over 18, he uses the stolen ID card to enter. He passes through another hallway to yet another door, but this one bears only one sign, a no U-turn sign. Inside is a dizzying, huge room, more like a city than a playroom. Large blocks like skyscrapers fill the walls, while alphabet mats cover the floor. Another ID scanner and display of rules greets them at the end of the room, reiterating that no adults and no liars may enter. You can hear what sounds like kids shouting or crying, and if you listen very carefully, you can hear the Wanderer whisper, "There's kids in there." And it really does feel like there are children just beyond the closed windows. It makes the Wanderer's choice to lie about their age understandable. The alarms begin blaring, and the environment dissolves into white light, teleporting the Wanderer to a bleak concrete courtyard with high wire fencing and a single path forward. Trapped in the playrooms, the Wanderer explores empty hallways decorated with extremely uncomfortable wall art. It reminds me of those education posters with children that have their eyes really close together. These frowning, eyeless children look sick to their stomachs. This place feels poisonous. Meanwhile, pictures and sculptures of the Guardians appear here and there, as if observing the Wanderer's progress. After meandering through some colorful hospital hallways, the Wanderer enters a kids' activity room with doors designated for 4 of the 5 Guardians. It's a room that almost feels comfortable, almost normal. There's a TV, a racetrack for toy cars, and a mini city where the kids can play pretend. If it weren't for the terrible lighting, I could almost see kids having fun here. Except, those doors aren't just for show. The sponge character's door opens, causing the camera to glitch. The Wanderer tries to escape through the same door he entered, but the path outside is blocked. And when he turns around, the wall art has changed, showing just images of the sponge. The exit door slams shut, revealing a sign saying, "Notice, there are no more exits." The images of the sponge grow more and more demented each time the Wanderer spins around to look at them, manifesting into a 3-dimensional figure, glitching in and out as it advances. An escape door appears that the Wanderer runs through, only to be caught in a series of nearly identical rooms to the one he just fled, just like a nightmare. You know those nightmares where you're running, but no matter how hard you work, you can't seem to get anywhere? That's what this person experiences for several minutes. He can't hesitate, can't catch his breath, or that horrific sponge thing will kill him. His heart is beating so hard that the camera hears it. At last, the Wanderer finds a moment to rest, and enters what looks like a benign, empty room. That is, until he turns around and discovers that the door is gone. And oh man, this moment is pure horror. The way he spins around, hoping that a new door will manifest, while he whispers, "Am I dead?" over and over again. Where other Backrooms videos rely on the presence of strange objects in an otherwise bleak environment to create interest and fear, this video gives you one room with absolutely nothing, and it is terrifying. And now that he's cornered again, the 4 Guardians come to play. A new exit appears, and now the Wanderer isn't even in the playrooms anymore. He's in a mall, which is exactly where the Guardians want him, far away from their domain. Of course, they still have no intention of letting this man live. This time, the Bear Guardian manifests, and the man flees into a room with a vending machine. Now, I'm not entirely sure what happens next. I assume that the bear killed the Wanderer, and then his camera no-clipped through the vending machine back into the real world, where two researchers from a found footage research facility discover it in their own vending machine. But according to the researcher who examines it, this camera has no off button. It has no record button. They leave it on the table while they call together a meeting to discuss this strange camera. From where the camera is placed, we, the audience, can hear their mumbled conversation. Presumably, they're speaking in a different room. But now the camera's view is shifting in and out of focus, almost like a person blinking away their drowsiness after waking up. The view changes. Instead of looking at a poster, now we see a computer. The view shifts and wiggles, while one of the researchers, Noah, complains. We've yet to actually find out if any of the people recording the footage in that place are, well, real people. And then the camera just casually gets itself off the table and wanders around the room. The researchers next door continue to argue, oblivious to the fact that the camera is now clicking through a slideshow. You know, not once in either of these videos do we see the wanderer holding the camera. We never see a hand or a foot. How would a 90s era camera be able to record someone's heartbeat? Through whose eyes have we been watching this whole time? GeoDeo26's Playroom series is excellent, from the rich environment, the intelligent entities, to the truly horrifying story it tells. It is a world of nightmares, where the maze constantly shifts and the entities never relent. It is such a unique and interesting take on the backrooms, and I hope to see more like it.